Is the Orlando Brown Jr. deal going to get done? We answer that and more on 21 Questions.
You are listening to KC Sports Network, the #1 podcast network for today's Kansas City sports fans. With former players from your favorite teams, informed perspectives, and former insiders, this is the place for you. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts or on our YouTube channel, all over social media, or our morning newsletter, KCSN Daily, dedicated to your Kansas City Chiefs. KC Sports Network is proudly presented by Emprise Bank, your partner in possible.
What's up, everybody? This is 21 Questions presented by our wonderful friends at Macadoodles. They are now the sponsor of this fine show. If you don't know that they are going to be opening a store in Lee Summit here this fall, we are beyond excited. It's been an absolute blast to partner with Macadoodles. They're wonderful. If you're in Southern Missouri, you can find their fine establishments, the best liquor store in the world. And you will be able to find one in Lee Summit very, very soon. I am almost as excited about that as I am to be talking to my dear pal, Tucker D. Franklin on Twitter. What's up, Tucker?
Not a whole lot. I can confirm Macadoodles is a great place. Went there for the first time. I think it was right after the season got done. BJ and I went down to Macadoodles to their Pineville location, which I believe is the world headquarters of Macadoodles. So if you get a chance, go down to the Pineville location, check out the world headquarters. It's an experience. It really is.
Yes.
And they make sure that you have what you need. They were telling me about seltzers I didn't even know. So it was a great time.
Tucker, is this your first time being on air since becoming an official full-time employee of KC Sports Network?
I think so, but I've been on so many of these calls that it feels like I've been on everyone. But yeah, I guess this is the first time of me actually being on one. Yeah,
like being on air, because like you're behind the scenes for everything, which is why you have so well deserved the full-time status at KC Sports Network. Don't blush. But yeah, I think this is like our first time on air with you. There's some questions specifically to you about, some of them probably can't answer. Sorry, Grayson. That's, but we'll try to answer some of these. Matt K asks a wonderful question. Are they paying you in seltzers, Tucker?
I think, but ipso facto, I am getting paid in seltzers because I get paid money, then I buy the seltzers. So yes. I think is the right answer. I think it's yes. I don't know if I use ipso facto right, and I don't know if I pronounce it right either.
I kind of want to Google it. No, just we'll come back to that in a minute. We'll figure that out. By the very fact or act. So yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I'll allow it.
Yeah, You did it right. Good. Yeah, ipso facto.
There we go.
But yeah, no, that's a pretty good answer. That's a pretty clever little answer from you. Andy Nagel asks, what is one Chiefs player you're higher on than the national media, and one Chiefs player you're higher on that KC plays this season? So a player I'm higher on than the national media. I think, I think L'Jarius Sneed probably doesn't get the national buzz. And I think a lot of Chiefs fans are onto it, right? So I don't know if it's even just specific to me that I'm higher on in the national media, because I don't think he gets a lot of run in the national media. But I mean, he's quietly been, he's probably, one of the, if not the best secondary player for the Chiefs over the course of the last 2 seasons. So, I mean, there's, the injuries and stuff, but like, I mean, I think he's the guy that you're probably, we're probably sleeping on a little bit too much national media. Tucker, what about you? Do you have anybody that you're higher on in the national media?
That's a good question. I felt like kind of last year though, the Jerry's team was getting some of that national media run.
I don't think he got enough.
No, it's obviously he didn't get enough, but I think he got a little bit more.
Okay.
Rashad Fenton.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
I like him. I know people don't like him, and that's like me with Charvarius Ward too. I like Charvarius Ward. I know a lot of people don't like Charvarius Ward. I like him. Okay, there, I said it.
Fine. I'm gonna for a Chiefs opponent.
Oh yeah.
I'm blindly trusting Trevor Lawrence is gonna be awesome this year. How about that? So like I'm going all in on Trevor Lawrence this year. So I don't if you have one, we can keep going. If you don't have one.
Nah, just keep going. Trevor Lawrence, that's a pretty safe bet, though. I'll say that.
Drew Clark asks, "What's your favorite part of Chiefs training camp, Tucker?" I wonder.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. It's not the waking up early and driving to St. Joe part of training camp. It's not the heat or the humidity of the St. Joseph landscape. That's the best part. My favorite part is when they throw those pads on and they go O-line, D-line, one-on-ones, and then I got to run all over the place trying to get these videos, these O-line, D-line, one-on-ones. That is my favorite part, just hearing the pads clack, hearing them bang together. That's it. That's the peak.
I think like the first time we hung out like in person. Was that training camp? I feel like it might have been.
Yeah, well, and it would have had to be because I started working in July is when I started with KCSN. So it would have had to have been training camp.
I just think it's just funny that like we've gone from where you are now to like I just remember I think this is an almost verbatim quote. It was just like you're just chasing that sweet clout from the training camp videos.
It really was.
Hey man, hey, you know, it worked. It works.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's all
I'm not hating the game. It's just like, you were running all over the place trying to go get all those clips and all those cuts, and you did a wonderful job with it. I think I embedded a few a couple of times for articles and stuff. So,
got a lot of good stuff planned for training camp this time around. So you got to stay tuned. Got to stay locked in. Make sure you're subscribed. Maybe I'll have something on the Substack. Hey, calm down.
What?
You need to calm down a little bit. Maybe I'll have something on the Substack. Who knows? But you'll have to subscribe.
Hey, yeah, it's a good opportunity. Go to kcsn.substack.com. You can /subscribe too if you want, and you can get KC Sports Network for $30.
You get more than you did last year, and it's cheaper. Think about that.
You get entered to win 2 tickets to every Chiefs home game. You get access. Think about that. You get access to the KCSN Discord to answer or to ask questions on the show. I mean, come on.
Pays for itself.
It pays for itself. So I got another question for you here. Oh no, I'll go. Let me do this one. This is from our guy Keith McLean. Will fans be blown away or disappointed by Justyn Ross in preseason games, or will Andy not let him get much tape to put out there in the hopes of stashing him this season? We'll see what happens with Justyn Ross in training camp. Like, is this a red shirt year? You know, do they take one of those strategic? Do they take one of those, like, you know, the pup list or one of those kind of things? You know, I don't think Justyn Ross participated in the Chiefs minicamp. If I remember correctly. So, you know, what does this even look like? Do they try to stash him with one of those pup lists or those kind of lists? Because they've done that before. The Chiefs, Malik Herring and Darius Harris and Tim Ward. Like, this team has done this in the past. So, I don't know if it's one of those things. Like, if the Chiefs are going all in, like I expect them to hit the ground running. You know, they're going to give them a lot of opportunities out there. So. I don't think they're going to try to stash him for on field. I think they might stash him for just straight across the board, just start training camp, if anything. But that's one thing I'm kind of paying attention to is what the Justyn Ross situation looks like. How are they kind of navigating that one? Jay the Fan, if you guys were at the pool and getting ready to chicken fight, which Chiefs shoulders are you getting on and who wins?
So my first thought was Creed Humphrey, just because I think that's a lot of mass. And it'd be hard
you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You have to go with Trey Smith or with Creed Humphrey.
People say Trey Smith and I look like too, so I mean I get it.
No, could you, Tucker? You on top of Creed Humphrey's shoulders would be the meme of the century.
It would be like from Austin Powers, the mini me.
Yeah, you're Lil Creed.
Uh-huh.
One of the nicknames I call him Lil Creed sometimes. It's not like a public name. Now it's public because it's
Now
his
it
son.
is, yep.
Lil Creed. I say it like a little sweet too. Well, mine was Trey Smith. I accidentally slipped there. I'm going Trey Smith. Who
Large
wins?
human.
Yeah, he's 6'6". People don't realize that. Like he's as tall as Creed. He's a little bit more dense in his base. Yeah, him and Creed are like 6 foot. I think Creed's 6'5" or 6'6".
Did he
So,
play
like,
tackle at Tennessee, or did he always play guard?
I don't think he ever actually played tackle, but he might have, but there was some talks that, like he might be able to. I think he might have played a little bit at tackle.
Because that's a tall guard.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
6'6" is a tall guard. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if his movement skills translated particularly well to tackle, but like, I mean,
Yeah.
he had the frame for it. So yeah, so basically, like we've picked well because we've gotten long, tall, strong. I think Trey's stronger. He's gonna give me a better base. I've got the length on you.
Yeah.
So I don't know who wins.
We measured my arms. This is kind of off topic. Well, not really, actually, at all. We measured my arms on almost entirely sports. I can't remember. We were talking about tackle arm length, probably. And my arms were 21 inches. So
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. 100%. We can find that audio anywhere. I'm gonna go on that radio show tonight. I'm gonna ask Josh about finding my arm length.
Did he measure right? Are you
Well,
sure?
I looked it up. After I got the measurement of 21 inches, I made sure that we measured it correctly, and I looked it up several times and had Beards measure my arms several more times, and it was all 21 inches.
Okay, if Beards did it, I could respect it. I think I have like 30-inch arms. I wouldn't be a corner. Yeah, we're neither of us are C-bat.
No, I'm built for powerlifting, and that's about it.
I'm built for Doritos. Leighton Y44 asks Tucker if he finished the Lego Star Wars kit that he created or that he bought for his birthday.
Okay, yes, I have. It's in the back. Dang it, you can't see it because of the way it's cut off, but it's back there. I also thought when I originally read this message, if he was talking about Lego Star Wars, the video game, that I also play a lot.
Maybe he has. Maybe that's what he's asking.
But no, I haven't 100% yet. Here's what I've done. Okay, I have 100% of the free play and side missions in all the planets. I've accomplished that. I think in the video game chat at the Discord, I dropped in the achievement I got from Xbox saying I've completed all the side missions, puzzles, and time trials or something like that. But now I'm going back and 100%ing all of the levels, which is probably like the reverse of what I should have done. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. In the limited free time that I do have, I am trying to 100% this game, and I'm going to do it essentially, but it's going to take me a while.
No wonder you're not watching very many TV shows right now.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Trent G asks if Darian Kennard wins the starting right tackle job and plays to his projected ceiling, could this O-line group challenge the early 2000s group? Yeah, I mean that early, I don't think so. But that's not disparaging this group because this would be an exceptional group. That 2000s group was absurd. It was perfect. And so I don't think you can beat the early 2000s offensive line. Willie Rofe, Will Shields, like, come on. Like, those are two slam dunk Hall of Famers. I don't know if there's two slam dunk Hall of Famers along this offensive line. I don't think, I mean, maybe, maybe a Trey or a Creed potentially continues to play for a long time at a high level, but I don't know if the ceiling's there for that group, even if Darian Kennard plays to his full ceiling. Corey Peter asks, whose love is greater, Kent for Patrick Lavon Mahomes or Tucker's for Tommy Townsend?
I don't know if you saw Tommy's been traveling this offseason. He posted a picture on the course, and his forearms, dude, he was like, his forearms were looking good forearms. You always check out the forearms on your golf swing. Got good forearms. So I think I answered that question myself.
You did. You absolutely did.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love Patrick Lavon Mahomes. He's the greatest thing to happen to this city, and he's the best quarterback in the world. But I am not on forearm watch, and I'm not actively trying to see what he's up to all offseason. I did watch the match intently though. Okay. Me and Patrick Mahomes versus you and Tommy Townsend on the golf course. You have to use one shot from each person on every hole.
That's a good question. See, I've never seen Tommy. I the only bit of Tommy's game I've seen is just that one picture. So assuming with the good forearms and everything, he can hit it far. Looked like his swing was good. Looked like he knew he was doing. That's tough. How many swing juices does Patrick have? That's another thing that's gonna play into it. Patrick on the swing juice is a different Patrick than Patrick off the swing juice.
That's a very good point.
So
The
I mean, how
swing
many swing
juice.
juices have I had? That's another thing.
Your swing juice is a little bit different.
It is. It's a little fruitier.
It's seltzier.
Yep, bubblier.
Yep. Okay. Zach, easy content, Faux McGorkin. Just continues to get better. How long until Sam Darnold becomes our backup quarterback? I wouldn't hate it. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Like, I'm constantly I don't think the Chiefs are ever going to, I don't want to say make waves at the backup quarterback position, but it kind of doesn't feel like they're going out of their way to try to find somebody to flip. They're not wasting their time trying to find somebody to flip necessarily. So, Chad Henne, they're going with an older established veteran. Shane Buechele is non-threatening, but a good guy to have in the room kind of thing, So I'm not saying Sam Darnold would ever threaten Patrick Mahomes, but I don't think the Chiefs are loading up to try to develop a backup as an asset. So if you're not trying to, flip a quarterback, which doesn't happen very often anyway, you're probably looking at, trying to just find, an established veteran. And Sam Darnold's too high variance to be a true backup quarterback anyway, I think, at this point. That's going to be something that's going to be interesting moving forward. Corey Peter, if KCSN's Bot, and if you don't know what KCSN's Bot is, it's on the KCSN Discord, so you can check that out. If KCSN Bot were a droid from Star Wars, which one would they be, Tucker?
My first thought was an R2 unit. Just because they got a little bit of little bit of the sass with them, right? And sometimes the KCSN Bot comes with the sass, and sometimes it's not messing around. So that was my first thought, but I feel like that's too low hanging, right? Everyone knows R2D2. Everyone knows what the R2 units are, but I think kind of like if you're into the newer trilogy, I guess they call them the sequels. BB-8 would be a good one too. I don't really see it as a C3PO. I don't really see it that way.
I don't think I either, because I don't think KCSN Bot's pretentious.
Right. It doesn't know a million forms of communication, and it's not very polite, if we're honest. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it just doesn't fit his personality.
I like it. Bones Jackson, if I made a playlist called Kansas City, what would be in that playlist? The low-hanging fruit is Kansas City by the Beatles. I mean, that's the song the Royals play. Every time you see the hashtag hey, 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 that's from that song. I would say Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones, because kickoff for the Chiefs, right? I Fight for Your Right to Party.
Is that their touchdown song now? Is that what they changed it to?
I don't know if they did full time. I still think they do. I still think they do Start Me Up. Not all the time, but they'll do it sometimes. Like Start Me Up's still in the rotation, I believe. You want to know a sad thing, Tucker, though? I mean, that would be me listening over the speakers. I haven't been to Arrowhead. I haven't seen Patrick Mahomes play live in
ever
a real game in my life.
We've seen preseason.
Seen training camp. Just training camp. I haven't been able to go to a game since the Titans playoff loss. His rookie year.
Oh,
yeah,
that was the Mariota pass himself.
Yeah, that one.
That one. Okay.
So I haven't been to a game. So I literally have not got to see Patrick Mahomes play live in person in my life.
I've only seen it. Okay, so I guess I saw it twice. I was at the game where he broke the record his rookie year with the 5,000 yards, 50 touchdown passes. I was at that game, and then the last time I was at a game, it was the Texans game that they lost in the regular season. It was like 19 to like 12 or something like that. It was a dumb score. But I don't. That's what I remember that game. That game was just so dumb and so infuriating. That's the last time I saw the Chiefs in person.
Yeah, I've had like just either doing like radio or post game shows or all that stuff. I've always had something to do on game day that has kind of kept me from getting to do that. Let's see here. Any more songs you would add? 17
yeah, Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap. Yeah. What's it called? Trap Queen. Duh. That's got to be on there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like anything else I would put on there. I don't know.
Probably some jazz. I don't know any jazz though off the top of my head. You got me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we probably should. You're right. Positivitoasty. You've gone missing and your family and friends discover that you've joined a cult. What type of cult is it?
It's the one where you look at Tommy Townsend's forearms all the time. That's what it is.
Live Golf.
Wait, but Kent, you know, hindsight is 2020. We know that, and you can't change the past. But what you can do is give a little bit of help to your future self, and maybe you has to borrow a little bit of cash. Now you can with Dave. Dave is the banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. That's more money to fill your tank. You need that in this economy. Buy a wedding gift or catch up on bills. You can finally tackle those expenses that have been stressing you out without any hangups. And there's no interest and no credit check needed. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to get financial relief they need with extra cash. So if you're in a pinch and need some extra help, download that Dave app and think of it as a helping hand from future you. So here you go. This is what you do. You download the Dave app from the App Store right now. That's DAVE. Use promo code KC Sports and sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve, member FDIC.
Wow, that is just a professional read right there if I've ever heard one, Tucker. Bearcat, our dear pal, asks, what foods would you like at a theoretical KCSN golf tournament? I don't know what I would like. I'd pull a nice pulled pork sandwich would be just delightful. That I'd go for that in a heartbeat.
You know what I've started to really like? Smoked sausage. I know that was a play that they that the Chiefs ran with Anthony Sherman, but smoked sausage, very good.
I don't. So have you? This is a barbecue sidebar. I don't know if I've asked you this question yet. I was traveling for work, as is the joke with Matt. I'm just traveling all the time. While there, I went to this place in Dallas called Heim Barbecue. And on the menu, Heim Barbecue had bacon burn-ins. It was one of the best things I've ever had in my life.
I can imagine so.
It was. I can't explain how good it was. Like,
were they sweet?
A little sweet, but they had the texture. Like, I had a definitive texture that, kind of that burn-in texture. A little sweetness. I think they glazed it a little bit. A little sweetness to it. It was perfect. I will volunteer to go down to our Texas branches again just so I can get Heim Barbecue. It was incredible. I've seen this question the last day, and I've been very anxious to hear the answer. This is for Tucker from Matty Veach. If Kent and Matty played a game of 21, what would you handicap it at?
See, this is tough because I've never seen either of you play basketball.
Okay. Now,
Matty talks a big game.
Now, time out. You've never seen us play basketball. I want to hear what you think our playing styles are.
Oh, see, I think Matty's a back him down. I think Matty's a back him down and you're a shooter. That's what I think it is.
Okay.
Because I think when I think about this, Matty tries to use his body to his advantage, right? He tries to use his strength to his advantage. That's what I think. But then you have the potential of the 3 ball too. So I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see Matty stepping out and hitting too many threes. I think Matty's going to get it down low in the post. But this is different. 1-on-1, you kind of got to take some threes because you get tired. At least I do. I get tired. I'm just going to shoot it right here because I don't want to go in there. Oh wow. What would I handicap it at? So it's like, who would I give an advantage to, I guess, is what he's saying.
Call it 3s and 2s. Don't call it 2s and 1s. Just 3s and 2s
to
21. It's fine.
Let's say, you know what? Here, I'll say this. I will go. There's no right answer here. Either one of you are going to be upset at me.
I'm loving watching. I can tell, like, you're trying not to hurt my feelings, I think.
Well, I mean, Matty talks a big basketball game. Apparently, Matty's good at basketball, according to him. So, I've never seen it.
But this is like, but Matty does the fake irrational confidence thing about certain things. Like, I'll wipe you, I'll shut you down. I will, I'll lock you up. It's like, there's got to be a line here. I have some opinions. I'm waiting to unfurl them. I want to hear the freaking line, Tucker.
I'm gonna give Matty 3 points.
3 points?
It's one shot, Kent.
I have been known to be a elite shooter. I have set gyms on fire. I have scored 18 of 21 points in a game to 21. I'm a little streaky. I'll just say I think I have a more diverse offensive arsenal than Matty Lane. And yes, Matty Lane can pound it down. He can get down into the post. He can get into the low post and give him some shots. But that man he's rigid upper body. He's very rigid. He's a very upper body. Have you ever, when Matty hugs, like you kind of like when you give Matty a hug, it's not a lean. He's just kind of standing there. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, Matty, and look, I have learned how to handle bigger guys in the post. I understand leverage. I understand a little bit down there. I think I can do a good job contesting, especially considering I don't think he has enough fluidity in his upper body to really create above, down in the post. I don't think he's got post. I'm not jumping. I am not jumping. I will stand on the ground. You are not getting me with a pump fake Matty Lane. And I can do more away from the basket than him. I hit the threes. I know I can, but I'm a little craftier in space. I think ultimately, if you are kind of stiff down low, it's a space game. And if it's a space game, I'm giving me the advantage -3. I'm mad. There is like the funniest thing, dude. There is like legit, like one of the funniest long-standing bits between me, Craig, Matty, and Bearcat is we all talk a big game in basketball.
I see Craig doing a lot of hooks.
So I think Craig, like if you made a tournament, Craig's probably Craig will say it's my knees, it's I don't think it's like, but like I think Craig's like I think Craig's the silent MMA fighter that you don't want to cross in the street. Or like you don't want to challenge him because like some instinct will just kick and he'll he'll beat you up. I think that's with Craig. Craig's like, oh, my knees, ow. But you get him on the floor and like he's just he's like Bill Walton, and he's because Craig's got a little bit more, I think he's not as he's got a little bit more athleticism to the way he operates. Not that Matty's a bad athlete. It's just, I would comp Matty to George Karlaftis. I don't think.
Wait until he hears this. He's going to love it. I'll mark timestamp down.
Yeah, I was like, clip. I'm just saying. I think you don't have a career in handicapping the same way Matty Lane, who's a wonderful handicapper and probably a very average pickup basketball player. Moving on. Casey from KC, who has the most impressive tattoos on the KCSN staff? Can I answer this one?
Yeah, you got it.
It's you.
Matty has tattoos.
Matty has some good tattoos, but like you've got some very elaborate designs going.
It's true.
Can you show the arm?
Yeah, I can.
This is good audio.
Which one? Which one do you want to see?
I don't know.
You pick. Show, I guess.
You can just maybe try to explain. Just explain a little bit while you are doing this.
Oh yeah, that was a guess to see which arm this was going to be because of the mirrored. Yeah. So I got a little bit of praying hands over here. My dad was a firefighter, and a pastor. Fun fact about my dad: did both at the same time. And this is the badge number of his partner who passed away. This rose is for my grandma, one that had passed away, and the dove on the other side is also for my grandma who passed away. So that's on that side. That's the family arm. That's the family arm.
When do I go on that arm? When do I go on the family arm?
Pretty darn soon. And this is the fun arm. Still adding to this one. I don't know which way to turn just because I'm not very good at this. Okay. I got this is obviously the state of Missouri. This is the state of Missouri. Kansas City skyline is down here, and that is a Chiefs logo. So if you ever think I'm not a Chiefs fan, I have it tattooed on my body. So.
Don't see any Panthers. I don't see any Panthers.
No Panthers logos yet, but it's going to come soon. Shuttlecock, a lot of people don't get this one. Once they see this, they're like, why do you have a badminton birdie on your arm? It's because of Nelson Adkins. They're not real. They're not real fans. And then I got the pylons up there. These hurt to get tattooed. Those hurt really bad because it's like on bone. I want to add a little bit more to it. Might add the Lombardi. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do to that side, but that's what I want to do.
It's you have the best tattoos of everybody in KC Sports Network, and that's not disparaging Matty any further than his probably average at the rim basketball game. It's just a shame your arms aren't longer.
Right? I mean, I could fit so much more on there. They're very wide. Arms are very wide. So my tattoo artist likes to tattoo me because he just has a lot of room to work with from left to right. But up in north and south, not a whole lot to work with.
Who wins in a free-for-all between all the KCSN staff college mascots? So I'm a Mid-American Nazarene Pioneer. You're a Bearcat, Northwest Missouri Bearcat. Craig and Matty are both Pitt State Gorillas, I believe, and then BJ is obviously a Wildcat, a K-State Wildcat. I'm the only human. It's a gorilla.
Yeah,
I think the gorilla.
That's like the thing.
It's
you can't beat a gorilla. You can't. I know. If a gorilla attacked me and I just had like my bare hands, couldn't beat it.
But even like a pioneer with was he a musket? Like the only thing I could think about is like maybe the human can kind of figure some stuff out. But like what we have this can we talk about the game?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
So like we always, we talk a little bit before every show, like we're always hanging out. And we've been doing this thing, just kind of happened organically. Like, we do the game previews every Wednesday. And the new game is we ask each other who would win in a battle between the mascots that were, of the teams that we were profiling that week. So like, what was it last week? It was the Raiders and the Bills. So who would win? 50 Buffaloes or 25 Raiders or vice versa. And it has been an absolute blast. It got to a point like, so the Buccaneers week, I jumped in late. This was the week I was late, but they asked me when I first jumped on. They Googled a Buccaneer and just established that was the Buccaneer that they were going to go with. And like the Buccaneer had musket and all that stuff. It's a very fun game that we've been playing before every game preview.
Yeah, and I think so. We usually try to like handicap it to the one that we think is probably, if you go 1-on-1, the one that's going to lose is going to be the one that has the 50, and the one that would win would have the 25. Is usually how we try to gauge it. But like with the Buffalo, with the Bills and the Raiders, like Raiders are basically the same thing as a Buccaneer. You do have guns, but a Buffalo is a lot different than a Colt.
A Buffalo's a lot different than a Colt. I think we picked the Buccaneer versus the Colt, but I think whatever. I think Buffalo versus a Raider, which like a sword. Like what was he got a sword? I don't know.
I don't think Raiders have the same thing as, but I feel like Buccaneers have guns. I don't think Raiders do.
It feels like Raiders is like the older version of a Buccaneer. Like it was 100 years more or farther, like older, like 100 years in the past, which means that it's like a Buccaneer with worse technology.
Buffaloes. So then do we want to say 50 Raiders and 25 Buffalo? Do you think that changes it? You're still taking the Buffaloes? Because I still think I take the Buffaloes, but then you have two humans for every Buffalo.
But it doesn't feel like, I mean, there's sometimes you have to establish ground rules. Like we started the second episode and we tried to do Cardinals versus Chargers just retroactively last week. So it's basically like 50 volts or 25 bolts of lightning versus 50 Cardinals or vice versa. We had to establish a lot of ground rules. We should probably move on. Any thoughts on not hearing anything on the Orlando Brown deal being worked on, and will it get done by July 15th? I think it'll get done. I do still have hope that it'll get done. Deadlines make deals is the motto. We still got a little bit of time here. I think Orlando Brown wants to get it done. I think the Chiefs are motivated to get it done. I think they'll get to a number, and then I think they're going to trade for Robert Quinn right afterwards. That's my hope and dream. JL asks, is there a Super Bowl in the last 10 years that you never watched? For me, it was the Pats versus Eagles and Pats versus the Rams. Ooh, let me go look. I think I've seen the last 10 Super Bowls. I'm trying to figure out the last Super Bowl I didn't watch.
I think I have two. 10 years ago, I was 14. Let's think about that for a second.
I think, I think I've seen the last 10 Super Bowls. I think the Super Bowl I watched the least was Broncos Panthers in 2016. That was probably the least attentive I've been to a Super Bowl. Probably Seattle mollywopping Denver was another one. That was fun though.
But that was fun. Yeah, I was gonna say that's against Denver, which that made it a lot more fun.
I think I gotta go all the way back to 2006 is like the last one I really didn't watch a ton of. Steelers and Seahawks, I think, is like the last one I didn't. The last one I really didn't watch. So.
Here's something. Do you want to know the first Super Bowl I remember? This is going to be a fun game.
Hold on. Can I guess?
Yes, you can guess.
Okay, so Tucker was born in 2008. And no, I'm going to guess it was the Patriots beating the Eagles.
It's close. It's the Patriots beating the Panthers. This is the first Super Bowl I remember.
You were like 5.5.
I know. Yeah.
Good Lord. Good for you, buddy. Good for you for remembering that.
I remember that vividly because I remember seeing the Panthers think that's a sick logo. And listen, I'm still a Panthers fan. All because of that reason.
Oh, That's good. Zeke asks, will the change to more physical receivers lead to Clyde Edwards-Helaire having the breakout season we've been waiting for? What do you think, Tuck?
Maybe this is the pessimist in me, but I'm kind of done putting expectations on Clyde Edwards-Helaire because I think it's going to make it a whole lot more enjoyable if I stop putting expectations on him. But I think that there's a legitimate thought process there. Like I think that there's a train of thought that I could see. Okay, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. I think that him staying healthy would help that a little bit more than having physical receivers. But running backs miss an average of like 3 games per season now in the NFL. I don't know if you know that, but like it's like something that you have to pretty much bank on starting running backs at least. So, and there are some outliers in that too. Like Christian McCaffrey misses a lot of time. There's running backs that get out for the year a lot, but like I think the median was like 3 games a season, which is it's been up in recent years. So that's the thing.
I think statistical breakout season, I could see it for sure. Like, I think there's an argument to be made that he'll have his best statistical season. I mean, Ronald Jones is probably going to be eaten into some of his opportunities, though. I could still see Clyde Edwards-Helaire rising above all that and having a very strong statistical great season. I don't know if the wide receiver blocking is something. I mean, I don't know if it helps him necessarily. I mean, it's not helping him break out from a performance perspective, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think Clyde, like, I don't know if this is helping Clyde Edwards-Helaire develop farther as a player necessarily. So, like, I'm a little kind of nervous about his ceiling, his ability to create, because he hasn't done a lot of creating. He gets what's there. He's been really good about getting what's there for sure. Like, but I don't know if he's the guy that's necessarily creating on his own and getting his own. So the running backs definitely help him in that regard. And maybe help him, maximize, every run a little bit better for sure. But I we'll see. I want Clyde Edwards-Helaire to pan out, but like the passing element has got to be the thing that separates him. And I think that has nothing to do with receiver blocking.
Right. No, it doesn't. And I think that this could be more of a correlation than causation type of thing. Like he could, like you mentioned, he could have a really good statistical year, but it's not going to be directly based on the wide receivers.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well, that was 21 questions presented by the wonderful people at Macadoodles. That's Tucker D. Franklin on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for asking all of the questions that you did. If you want to ask questions, subscribe to the KCSN Substack, and you'll get access to the Discord where we get all these wonderful questions, and you get to hang out with a lot of wonderful people and have a lot of fun and a lot of fun discussions about a lot of different things. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you later.